appears as if we will not be seeing anything from an Anthem Next. Just in general, I got off the phone earlier today with a dev who was on the original team, and the original team, so the game overall is not looking good right now. It's been 2 years since the launch. It's been a horrendous last 2 years for the game, for the community. And the team that is currently on this project, they're based out of one of the other studios in the States, and they've been slowly working on this game. Every time they put a leader in the position of being in charge of this, they quit and they move to a different company. That happened, I think, 3 times in total. So ultimately, they just said, okay, nobody's really in charge officially, because they couldn't take yet another person leaving the project. From the outset, the developer team realized that this was this was most likely a canceled project. They made their money back from development resources and a little bit more, actually a lot bit more, because unlike Cyberpunk and unlike even 76, there were not a lot of refunds for this game. There was not a large movement demanding refunds. They refunded less than 5% of purchases. So that's insane, considering that Cyberpunk has refunded over 15%. 76 refunded almost 20%. So and these companies are given crap, like Bethesda and CDPR has been given absolute garbage for their recent rollouts, whereas nobody made this level of complaints when it came to EA. I wonder if that has anything to do with some of these companies and some of these media companies all being interconnected and owned by the same parent companies and sister companies as EA is, and so there's just a mild notice that nobody was writing tons of articles about how people were demanding refunds from EA, because that never happened, because EA doesn't have that policy. So yeah, just kind of a reminder there that to people who think that CDPR is the new EA. It's not, even by just the basic definition. It's not even close to. So just a reminder that things can always be worse, and it's pretty much always worse with EA. So Anthem is under review by the board. They were supposed to put out an announcement on Monday. They have been delaying for a while. Apparently the delay is because the community wanted to see how much support they could rally, how much there's this new hashtag that was trending called I Believe in Anthem. Now, most people thought that this had to do with an actual anthem, and whether they believed in their anthem or not.
A national anthem?
As in a national anthem. So a lot of people liked that hashtag because of that reason, because none of them have actually heard about this stupid game. Over on the subreddit for this game, they were all praising and they have a moratorium on negative posts. A moratorium over negative posts. Because controlling everything that's all news around a particular subject, that's worked so well before. That's super healthy for a communicative community, and it's super healthy for that. It's just like North Korea. If y'all believe that it's the best thing since sliced bread, and you don't allow anybody to say anything negative about it, surprise, surprise, there'll be no negative interactions. Amazing. Fools.
It's like how if you just remove all laws, you'll have zero crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I like. So I brought up this Reddit post that you made this morning, Saib, describing your call with this member of the Anthem development team.
Yeah, I thought they might be interested
And
in it, but
it's
no,
it's gone now. It's just
yeah,
gone.
it's gone. It was deleted almost immediately. This wasn't a horribly negative post. This was just a general like, hey, here's the information that I have. Thought you guys might be interested in it. There's a small chance that that there is a reshuffle going on, and that the reshuffle is to actually make way for them to move this to a new studio and moving some of those core team members that have been on the rebuild over to those new studios to have them work on this. It could be that it could be that it could be that it is going to get some new funding and it is going to get moved over, but it's probably not going to be moved over to a bigger wing of BioWare. It's probably going to need to be moved over to a completely new studio, just because BioWare doesn't have the time, the resources, and the leadership, because that just quit, to actually rerun this. So if there is going to be some movement in this, it would require basically a new company, and the company to basically a new company to basically walk in and take over the production of this, and to try and make it to try and help it become something new ish. So yeah, posted that, and then they did not enjoy that. They immediately took it down, said that it was that they negative information about the. So it's not just the only information that's positive. So anyways, like I said, delusional people over there. It's and again, I don't want to hit somebody when they're down, but look, guys, this whole I believe in Anthem thing got, even amongst their own community, didn't garner more than 2,000 people. Did not garner more than 2,000 people. I don't know what to tell you. Fallout 76, when it was at its worst moment, had 20,000 people playing it at the very least. This is numbers that I've been able to confirm now, well after a year of that game being out. Right now, the number of people playing Fallout is well over 100,000. So the game is actually doing pretty well. Like 76 is actually like, it's got NPCs, it's got stories, the world is way more alive. They're increasing the inventory stash by another 50%. They are doing tons and tons of things to really help the game grow over there. There was some negative news recently saying, "Oh, now they've gone silent. They're preparing to give up on it." No. With Microsoft's funding now, they are increasing their team over there. They are increasing their goals over there. Again, guys, this is not a great game. Its launch was horrific. That would probably what I would say about its release. It was garbage. It was absolute garbage. And it was garbage for a good 9 months. It wasn't until they started to add NPCs that the game actually started to become playable, or what I would call playable. And right now, it is not bad. It is decent as far as a Fallout game goes. It is still not good or great. It is decent. If you are a diehard Fallout fan, I would suggest that you wait for the next big update, which I think is coming down the road shortly here. And I would suggest you give it another try if you already own it. If you don't own it, I would not suggest buying the game, because it's not a great game. It's not a good game. It's a decent game right now. So it's come up from horrendous, tragic garbage to, so it's all right. I wouldn't encourage anybody who's not into Fallout to buy it. I wouldn't encourage even Fallout fans to buy it if they hadn't bought it before. I would encourage people to keep an eye on it, because this is the sign of what Microsoft is going to do with Bethesda. They're not going to be abandoning them. They're not going to be cutting them off. They're not going to be dumping them in a ditch somewhere. They are going to be trying to make things better. And I really think that is what they're trying to do here. So heads up, they are really trying to make that game better. So what does that mean? Looking at 76, looking at No Man's Sky, does Anthem have a probability of coming back? And the answer to this is no. Not even in the slightest. No. First of all, even at its worst, 76 had 20,000 people playing it. At its best, Anthem has less than 2,000 people playing it. They tried to have a day where they encouraged people to come back to break the 1,000 player, consistent player mark. So what does that mean? That means for the past year, the game has had less than 1,000 people playing it concurrently at all times. That is horrendous. You can't recover from this. There's not enough people, and even their whole I believe in Anthem stuff that they tried to share around, which I would have been a lot more forgiving and a lot more less rude if they had if they were allowing actual conversation to happen on it. I was actually going to be trying to put kind of a positive influence on the community, but let's face it, the community isn't allowing actual conversation. The community is controlling everything. And even with that, all they've managed to do is pull around 2,000 people. And that's just 2,000 people to interact positively with the stuff. So
they've got a tough uphill road, especially considering it's a brand new IP. People are not happy with the fact that Mass Effect had to suffer so that this atrocious thing could exist.
Oh, and I have new information about Anthem Andromeda today too, so I'll get into that in a sec. But just overall, this game is garbage. It's always been garbage. It will continue to always be garbage. They're not going to get a second revamp. It's highly unlikely at this point. They're basically getting ready to move everybody from what remains to be on that crew. So I expect within a few days they'll have an announcement going, we believe in this, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for playing the game, but we're going to be moving on now, and we're going to shut the servers down in a few months. Play for free now. If they were serious about rebuilding this, if they were serious about that, if they were serious about this from the beginning, they wouldn't be continuing to charge $100 for skins. They're still charging $100 for skins. It's over, guys. Give it a break. Geez, no one to call it quits.
All right. So, quickly. So, I'm curious. What is this tidbit you have about Andromeda?
So, Andromeda's original budget, and this is what I love about these big mega gaming companies and studios. Activision has this habit where their entire budget runs off of a tiny department fueled by less than 100 people to make them billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, and they pay these guys pennies on the dollar for their actual skill value, citing that, hey, it's a dream to work here, buddy. You're getting experience. It's disgusting. So yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, despite having was done in this Montreal studio that had, frankly, some of the worst leadership I have ever seen or heard of. These people were power hungry. What's that term where they're completely
narcissists?
Narcissists.
Yeah, narcissist. I was going for egomaniac, but yeah, sure, narcissist. They were forced to use this Frostbite engine, which was absolute garbage. Still is to this day. Their leadership was just horrendous. There were people who were in lead positions who had no experience in that position. So one of their animators didn't actually have experience animating when they took over the animation department. And this is where, my face is tired, which, by the way, I finally understand. That line, my face is tired? Well, my face is tired right now because I'm suffering from, nerve damage. And I can't move half my face. And then now I finally understand the term, my face is tired. But, that I don't think the character was suffering from that. So I don't think it was a great line. However, turns out that the EA only gave them a budget to create 2 additional races. That's why we didn't have any like new races in the game other than just the 2. And they were very similar, as you know, because they were the same race. Oh, shocker, guys. Big spoiler alert, they're the same race. Oh my god. So yeah, it turns out that this entire time, EA had only given them a budget to run, basically nothing. And they were expecting them to create this game that would make them over $1 billion. But they didn't even give them like proper funding to do that. This is this movie theater style Hollywood-esque type funding where it's like, we're going to give you $200 million to make this movie. And we're expecting this movie to at least make $1.5 billion. It's like, well, that's quite the investment there, really? Like, hey, you think you could spend an extra $100 million on this? Right? No. Do you have any idea how many yachts that is? I need an entire fleet of yachts, sir. Now do your job or we'll replace you with somebody who will. It's like this is what this corrupt, like absolute corrupt Hollywood elite kind of mentality is. And it's absolutely disgusting.
Well, it's a shame to see that invading the gaming space.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate.